You how to make a website with the G Suite apps for Ed. To start, you're going to go to the Google website. You're going to look for the 3x3 array up in the top right once you're logged in. You'll click on it, and you're going to be looking for the little logo that says Sites, and it looks just like this guy right here. Now, if you don't see it, you might have to click on More and find it down below. If you find it, drag it up because these can be rearranged. So that way then it's up in your top bar. So I'm going to click on Sites. Now Google is doing away with its old version of the website creator it has had up till this point, and they are moving to something called New Google Sites. So don't be fooled into clicking Create right away. Go to New Google Sites to create your website. From here, you'll see any websites maybe you have created. If not, you are going to have to create a new website. New Google Sites is a what you see is what you get type editor. So this is what your web page is actually going to look like when staff and students view it. The first thing you're going to want to do is change your title. Okay, that would be the first thing I would do. Now over on the right, this is how you add content into your website. I'm going to start with themes so you can see the different looks you can get for your website. So I can change the color of the bar down at the bottom. I can change the font if I'd like. I'm going to stick with the same one though. There are a few different themes. That'll just change mostly the color. The background up here can be changed on its own. I'm going to go to Pages now to create some separate pages for my website. Maybe I would do spelling words. While that one's being created, I'm going to create another one that says web links. Contact information. And now these are all individual subpages underneath my website. You can see that New Google Sites automatically generates your links for you in this top bar. Underneath Insert, this is where you're going to find a lot of your content information and content that you can add to your website. So I'm going to click back on Home to go to my first page, or my landing page where everyone would see when they first come to my website, and I'm going to add a text box. I'm just going to say hello everyone. Very simple right now. Okay. Maybe you might want an image. So I'm going to go and find an image. So you can add them by URL, by search, from your own albums, like stored on your computer, or from Google Drive. Right now I'm going to try to add them from the Google search engine, but it seems to be taking a little bit to generate. None of those are horse may, but hey, we're going to go with it. I'm going to click on this picture here, and I'm going to click on Select. And what it's going to do, it's going to drop it into my website. From here, you see you can dynamically change it, almost kind of like maybe a word processing document. I'm also able to move it around. I can center it in the page by clicking and holding. I can even share space with my text in the top. So I'm going to do that because I think that looks pretty clean. If you want to put in dividers, you can put in dividers. There's other things like URLs to embed a URL. So I would put in which is a game site that sometimes they use. And it has put in a link. So that is another option. You can add things from your drive. You could embed a YouTube video or a calendar. There are lots of options that you'll have to kind of play around with. Now keep in mind, because we're working in Google, all of these things will be linked to your account. So it makes it really simple to pull across your content for your students or your staff or your parents and teachers, or parents and guardians, I'm sorry. Across the top, you're going to see some other things. There's like a More button, a Publish button, add editors, so you could work on a website as a department. I could create this as a community type deal where I can add other people to help me work on it. I can preview the website, and then I can undo the last action I've done. Moving over here, this blue button would take you back to the site's home. This would be the title for your web page. So I'm going to go and copy exactly what's on the banner below. And I'll leave that like that. Underneath this More tab, there are some other things you can do. There is the Take a Tour, which will give you a little bit of a run through. The publish button will actually turn your website live. So when you're ready for the content to be seen on the web, you can click on publish, and it's going to have, okay, so here's like the address to your website, and then we're going to add to the end of it. So I'm going to call it Mr. W's Tech Class. And what it's done is it's created a web address or a web URL with that information. Okay. I can lock it down to anyone at isd31.net, so the person would have to be logged into their isd31.net Google account to view the website, or I can make it public to anyone on the web. If you'd like it to be searchable, you could click this link to appear in search results. And then I will click publish. From this point on, this website is live. So any changes I make from this point, so I'm going to add to this, I would have to go up then and click publish to save that to the web again. So I'm going to do that. And now it has been updated. If I was to type something, and close the window, that would not be published. I would lose that information right here that I have just added. So make sure you are publishing before you leave your website. One last thing that's really cool about Google Sites, or the new Google Sites. If I click on the preview, it will show you a layout for on the computer, what it would look like for someone accessing with a tablet, and what it would look like from a mobile phone or a smartphone. So this is a good thing to kind of keep in mind as you create the content for your website about what it's going to look like across these different devices that your students and staff are going to be looking at it through. That's about it. I will show you quickly one of my websites to show you what you could eventually do once you get pretty fluent in Google Sites. So I've added some animation, I've added some personalized banners, I have different grade levels, things are organized with links and videos and content dropped in on the side. I could embed a form if I wanted to for my students to fill out. So I hope you got something out of this quick little training on new Google Sites. It's a very nice way to incorporate all your G Suite material into one presentable space for your students, staff, and parents to check out. Thanks for watching. Bye.